Hey,
Hey Brad, how you doing, man?
good. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, go
Awesome.
ahead,
Well,
man.
well, hey Brad, thanks for taking the time to talk with me. I'm here with Brad Selko, founder and owner of Hot August Blues, which runs the Hot August Music Festival here in Baltimore, Maryland, specifically Cockeysville, up in Oregon Ridge Park, happening August the 19th, 2017. Um,
That's it.
All right. So thanks, Brad. Hot August has blossomed from humble beginnings, as I've been told. What was it about the festival that allowed it to grow into the Mid Atlantic powerhouse it is today?
Just slow, steady growth over the years, and it morphed from a small picnic in my backyard inside of a riding ring 25 years ago. That I decided to do it either June or July of '93. I think we started it, and all of a sudden I looked outside. And I said, "Oh, there's 400 people here." We sold tickets ahead of time, but it was only a month, and I didn't know who was going to come. And it was blues. I had great blues artist Charlie Musselwhite, who worked with Muddy Waters, worked with a lot of different people over the years. Charlie's a great harmonica player, and he learned from the greats of blues harmonica and great guys from Chicago.
Yeah, he's
Charlie came
one
out
of
of
the greats.
Mississippi, I think. Yeah, and we had another guy named Brett Wilson, another local guy, and it was just Brett and Charlie the first year. And probably the festival was like maybe 5 in the afternoon till 10 or something like that, I think. And I can't exactly remember the hours.
Yeah.
We had a small tent for the stage, a small stage no bigger than two cars probably, or three, whatever, like a 10 by 10 area, maybe something like that. There's the riding ring. And the hardest thing was cleaning up the manure from the
Right.
horses.
Has it been called a Hot August Music Festival since that very first time, or was it called something
No, it
different?
was originally called. A friend of mine came up to me in the parking lot. I was doing a little benefit downtown at some museum. He said, "Maybe you want to have a picnic at your farm?" I said, "Okay, let's try it." I said, "Okay, let's try it." So Charlie came, and a month later, Charlie and Brett were there, and it started as Hot August Blues.
Oh, okay,
20,
gotcha.
and I think it stayed that till like 5, 6, 7 years ago. I'd always talked about, my wife and I talked about changing the name, and Rick Barnstein and I talked about it many times. And I sort of morphed it into Hot August Blues and Roots for a while. And
Okay.
then it didn't feel right. So I wanted to have a complete change. So it covered all the different genres of music, which I like. So it's called Hot August Music.
Okay.
And I talked to a lot of people like you. I talked to a lot of people that I work with all the time about the festival, what they like about music, what bands are relevant. 'Cause I like to be say somewhat relevant.
Right.
And when it was blues, it wasn't mainstream. The festival has maintained that we are not a mainstream festival. It's not just mainstream music. It wavers back and forth on different ways of roots music, American roots music. That's
Right.
what it has all the 25 years.
Wow. Well, awesome, man. That's an awesome story. I really like it. Now, if you could go back to the beginnings of the festival with all the knowledge that you have, and not necessarily like the first year, but like when you decided to keep it going for a few years after that, it's still in its
hmm
beginnings. If you
hmm
could tell yourself or give yourself any advice, what would you tell yourself?
You know what? I don't think I would to make it any bigger or better than it was. I think it was really cool the way it was. I loved it. But after the first year, I said to my first wife who's passed away since, I said, I'm not doing this expletive anymore. I'm not doing it anymore. And next thing I know, it was like, must have been maybe April or May or March. I said, let's just do it one more time. So we did it one more time. And there's a lot of great stories that have come out of that. One of my great friends is playing this year for me, a great blues player, great slide player, learned from a guy named Sunhouse.
Hmm.
I couldn't find him. He came to the house and had like 4 or 5 people that year. I couldn't find him. He fell asleep in the bathtub. So I had to go wake him up in the bathtub and said, John, man, you got to get on stage. Your gig's coming up. You get ready to play the festival. There's a lot of really good stories. And there's
Yeah.
another guy. It's where I waver a little bit when I talk. Another guy, Big J McNeely, who taught Jimi Hendrix all his stage antics. Big J was a honking sax player. I saw him in Europe, in Amsterdam one year, probably 20 years ago or something. I brought him back to the festival. Then the next thing we know, a friend of mine dropped him off at the hotel, and Ron had to go back to the hotel to get him, to say something, to pick him up, to do something. He found Big J walking around the halls, I'm not going to say what hotel it was, naked, looking for something. looking for a soda. And he said, Jay, you can't do that. Then they brought him back to my house, and he said, I said, Jay, you want to listen to music? He's an older African-American guy, really great musician. And he said, okay. So all he wanted to do is listen to his own music. And you can listen to his music. It's Big Jay McNeely. You know?
Right. Right.
He's a pretty cool guy, you know.
Okay.
And but then 5 minutes before he's about to play that day, he was going to play. You know who Kim Wilson is? Thunderbirds.
Yeah.
Thunderbirds. Okay. So Kim was going to play, and I had some of his band there, and the band's in the house. At the house. And Kim said, I don't think I want to play with him. And they sort of argued. I had another band. There was another band there. He said, I don't like those guys. They're a local band. They're really good. He won't play with them. So he fired them 10 minutes before the gig. Then I asked Kim, that's what it was. I asked Kim Wilson, can you back him up? And he said, no, we're coming on next. How can we back him up? I said, so I got a Zydeco band to do his whole set with him, and it worked perfect.
Wow.
Jay starts out like 50 yards back from the stage on the grand grass, laying on his back, jumping up, dancing and everything.
Wow.
So would I go back and change anything? No, because this is how the festival started, and it's really cool. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a great story. How long has Pickers Grove been a part of Hot August, and what kind of inspired you to add that into the festival?
Well, I had a third stage, and I changed it again this year. My brain changes. So I started Pickers Grove last year, 2016.
Oh,
I wanted
okay.
a place where people could just go and play and bring their instruments and play and have a good time. We had a tent up back there, and we had a couple of different bands working. I think maybe some guys from Railroad Earth were back there, and one local band back there playing with people, and it worked really well. But this year, being the 25th year, I changed it back to a third stage, and it's called Back to the Farm Stage. Some of the bands that played the first Hot August, the first few years, are going to play on that stage again.
Oh, okay.
So we have, so it's going to be all blues with two guys who are outstanding slide players.
Nice.
Great slide guitar players. So that'll be, people will like it, you know.
Yeah, and it's got sort of a nostalgia kind of aspect to it as well.
Exactly. And I like it. And it's great music. They're old friends of mine, so I really wanted to bring it back to the 25th year, you know.
Okay.
And I never thought much of a 25th year until somebody said 25th year isn't that important. I said, well, maybe. I don't know. You know, I don't think of things like that. So, but it is good. And as I look back, there's some great times, great stories, and kinds of funny things happen at my house. You know.
Well, and it seems like your own influence obviously stems from blues. Who were some of your favorite bands growing up? The first band I ever saw, I think this was Apollo Theater. I was like 12 years old. My parents took me to the Apollo in New York. I remember the Isley Brothers. And they were actually doing body surfing back then in '62. And I still remember sitting there and saying, that's really cool, you know. I've always liked music. I've always liked R&B. I've always listened to a little bit of gospel, old African-American gospel music. Well, I think I was like 10 years old probably. For some reason I listened to it, you know. Yeah. And that's where that blues influence came from. Then the music moved to soul type music, then it moved to folk music, then it moved to psychedelic music. So music's continually changed over the years. The blues thing got pretty heavy back in the on and off over the years, you know. Right.
But I felt it was time for a change later on, and the festival changed that. I bring in people like Dickie Betts will play for me. North Mississippi, and it has morphed, and that's why this year we've come out with a great line, a lot of bluegrass, a lot of funk, a lot of blues, and a lot of men and women, a lot of women bands this year. One completely women's band this year too, which is good.
Awesome.
If I didn't answer your question right, let me know.
No. Yeah, that was definitely fine. I mean, it's. I think that in music, you as a music fan, you sort of have to always be open to new things, and my taste has changed, a lot over the years. I still, I grew up on classic rock, and I still love that music, but when I was little, I grew up in there's been no good music after 1990 type of mindset, and now I've sort of evolved to open my mind a little bit now that I'm a little older. So
I think the musicians today are as good as they were 50, 60 years ago. Has the music changed? Yeah. Has Hot August really moved to the more younger folks, the EDM side? No. But
Right.
bluegrass is still really relevant as a roots music. All my Americana stuff from the last few years, whatever it's been, is probably Americana, whatever it's always been. It's all roots based music. So I
Yeah.
think it's good to change. Change is good. That's why I have I talk to you. Rich always talk to me. We talk about music 2-3 times a day. I
Right.
talk to Toby. I talk to a lot of guys. I talk to my stagehands. I ask them what to listen to. I'm always interested to see what people are listening to.
Right.
Because I don't know everything. But I listen to enough FM stations. I listen to a lot of Spotify, I guess. Whatever.
Right.
But I listen to different AAA FM stations, whether it be TMD, XTN, or whatever. I've been listening to XTN for 40 or 50 years,
Right. Right.
And been going to folk festivals for that long,
Yeah.
40 some years,
Okay. How about this? If you could choose one band to book that you've never had at Hot August, who would it be?
I wish I would have booked a band like the band. It would have been great to have them. I listened to them in the 70s, 60s, 70s, whatever it was,
Yeah.
It's hard really to say. But people ask me that question all the time, and I always change my mind, Sometimes I would say a band like Nirvana. I thought Nirvana was a great band.
Right.
That's me. It could go to the band, or it could be Tom Waits. I'd love to have Tom play for me. You know Tom Waits?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'd love to have Tom. Do a lot of people know who he is anymore? I don't know. I think he's amazing. He's one of the last really amazing people out there doing what he does,
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to have maybe him. But and then half hour from there, if I hang up, I'll probably another 20 bands will come into my head.
Right. Okay. How did the addition of Professional Vision as a partner come about? I know you've been with him at least for a few years.
He called me, or I called him. I don't know how I got in touch with him. I need some help with Facebook stuff, social stuff. I wasn't really sure how to do it. Rich and I got together, and it's been great. I talk to him 2-3 times every day.
Nice.
And it's a really great help. He understands things. And we talked about the music on it. What do I like? What do he like? What he like? He knows a lot more regional bands than I do, because he goes out a lot more and sees regional music, and that's important because I don't do that as much anymore,
Mm-hmm.
But he still goes out. I see, and he's got a good taste in music. He can feel it,
Yeah.
He has a good feeling for music, and I appreciate it. And he's great to work with, so that's the best part,
Right.
There's no pressure. We always have a good time. We have talk all the time about music and different things and different ways to make the festival get to improve. This is not going to ever turn out to be a 30,000 person festival, nor do I need it to be,
Right.
My festival now, or Hot August now, has the same feeling somewhat that I had at my house. Has a family-friendly type atmosphere. You've been, right?
Oh yeah.
And we have kids and everything, and we've always had kids activities 25 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was putting a canvas up 40 feet long against a horse fence, split rail fence, and just big kids painting them there all day, or building out there, or doing something all day.
Right.
But it always had and I was worried after I left my farm, went to someone else's farm, and the neighbors didn't like it, so I moved to Oregon Ridge. I was worried it wouldn't have a good feel. And that's the most important thing for me, is the feel. Make sure it feels really good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like mega festivals unless I'm lucky enough to have a nice backstage pass or something, and I don't mind.
Right.
But I don't have to have a really good feeling. You have to feel it, and you have to be. I feel that most people really like it and are part of it, and they appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what I tell people about it when I talk to them about it. Is I say, look, it's the kind of place where if you want to party, you can party, but if you want to just sit back and be with your family or your friends and pitch up a tent or a chair, then you can do that too. And there's no overlap. There's no people stumbling over you and ruining your time. So
right, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's all ages. The festival runs from 1 year old to up till this year. I don't know if my parents are coming this year. They were there last year at 93 and 91. They were there last year. So this is the whole. So the festival, and probably most of the festivals maybe 30 to 50, I guess. I guess it's the bulk of the people there,
Yeah.
But it's all ages, and it's fun. But we have all kinds of drum circles, and I've had a kids' corner for 25 years, for kids, stuff for kids to do.
Right.
Hat making, percussion workshops. There's a lot of the same people
They keep
have been helping me for 25 years, the same volunteers too.
Yeah, that's right. I remember last year you had there was you did an announcement. I think that someone
Did
had
I?
been there for like a long-standing amount of time. I can't remember exactly how long it was,
Yeah.
but yeah, you're recognizing them for having been there for so long. That's pretty cool.
There's
So
there's a few of them, and then the woman who just took care of the front gate. I saw a picture of she and I standing at the little gate in my house. Two people every 5 minutes ago or whatever it was.
right.
She and I were there, and she's still there today running the front gate. And this is her last year. She's a college professor. So she said to me, it's just 25 years. I think it's long enough. And I said, that's great. You did an amazing job. 25 years? That's a lot. That's a long time.
Yeah.
I never thought of it as anything important. So somebody said, this is 25 years old. I said, really? It didn't not impress me. And I'm sort of realizing, I guess it is a long time.
Right.
Mm. But I appreciate it. And I have a lot of new volunteers and a lot of new people, but they're all really cool people. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to have a
Very
good
few
family
issues.
around it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So and obviously, so where was your farm located? Is that in the Greater Baltimore area, or is it out in
No,
uh,
it was Moncton. In
Moncton?
Moncton.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, I mean, I guess sort of the Baltimore area is
Yeah, it's
important to
Baltimore.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have
Mm-hmm.
you ever thought about moving the festival to a different location, like out of the Baltimore area, or has that always been pretty central to its success and how you want
Well,
to do it?
you live in Baltimore now, and as you stay longer, you'll know more people, and I know a lot of people, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to move. And if the festival, then you have to start it all over again. I don't know if I could start it all over again. It's when I started this 25 years ago, there were a lot of festivals in the country. Now you can multiply it times 100. How
Right.
many? We're around 25, 93. I mean, maybe 5 times 1,000 or something. Some of these festivals. So the move will be very difficult, I think.
Mm-hmm.
To change it to a 2-day festival, sometimes I always say to myself, why reinvent the wheel? Why redo it again if it's working? Why change it?
Right.
And I talk about this. Rich and I talk about it every year. I think and that's something amazing happens for a Friday. I wouldn't change it. Some band came up. I said, man, I gotta book them.
Right. Okay. And Baltimore's just a great town in general for music. I've been here, less than 2 years. I already
Hmm.
feel like it's been, there's an incredible music family and an incredible music history. Especially again, last year you had the author, I can't remember his name, who wrote about how important Baltimore was to the history of bluegrass in America.
Okay, Tim's helping me a lot. Tim Newby. Yeah, Tim's working with me on the festival a lot. So I get input. I forgot his name before. I get a lot of input from him. What he likes. Because
Right.
each of the different people listen to different stuff, and I respect what they say, and I do listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Do I always book what they say? No, but I listen to it. I do listen to it. I only have so many slots to fill every year, too.
Right. Right. I'm sure there's a lot of interest around it as well. So,
But
um,
Tim's very knowledgeable. He's very knowledgeable, and he's got different viewpoint on music, which I really appreciate.
right. Right.
Yeah, that's
So,
really good. I like the creativity of people and what they think and they feel about music.
yeah. So what are some of the challenges that you've faced over the years when booking and putting together the festival?
I have to make sure it feels right to myself, and then booking the bands has gotten huge. What's the word? Hugely over, very expensive. I guess
Mm,
is the right word. We have to make sure it all fits and works together well. And some years don't quite fit to me, and some years turn out really, really well. I think this year it's a really nice, solid lineup, and I don't have to get. I don't want to say the pricing of artists are because it's ridiculous. I mean, you buy 10 cars for some of them. But I don't think I have to really book those bands that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and the festival can't afford it because it's going to remain a small festival. That's what I like about it.
right.
There's always challenges. You have to keep a budget and try to keep as close to as you can. Because it's an evolving thing. It changes, and the budget's set, but then some things change it.
Mm,
Things change it all the time. And I always talk to everybody. How would you improve? I always ask everybody. I asked a friend of mine down here, the bluegrass band down somewhere down half a mile from here. So, and what would he do? I just know what he says too. So this year we're going to incorporate a roaming bluegrass band.
oh, nice.
Walk around, just set up and play wherever they want to, in between the sets, and in between the drum circles, and in between the hat making, and in between all that other stuff that goes on. I wish I had more room. but I am constrained there to how many people I'm allowed to have, I think, and how many cars. It's like cars too, you know. And there's so much room for cars, but we do have light rail. We do pick up from the light rail and everything too, you know.
Right, which is really cool. That's very
Mhm.
helpful for people who don't want to
Mhm.
drive or don't have a car or whatever. So
Yeah. We pick up all day long. Anyway, I think we probably take the last person back around 11 o'clock or 10:30 or something.
yeah,
And
very
all that's
nice.
explained. That's explained on the website. And
Hmm.
but it's important to keep current with how tickets are sold today, whether it's through social, whether it's through emails. You have to really understand. You have to start. I have different people too that are younger than me that can maybe understand it better than me, or say this would be better to do this. No, seriously, do the better to do it this way or should do it that way. And I listen to people. Man. I don't know everything, man.
Right. Well, and Rich is a great promoter with online stuff. So that's
He loves it.
yeah.
Oh my God, he loves it. You know. And then I have my wife. She does all the detail work for the festival. You know.
Okay, nice.
She puts all the detail. She puts all that together perfectly. And I have another woman who does all the crafts and vending for me. She's been doing pie for 10 years, and she lays all out doing anything. I just pay her a certain fee. She lays everything out. We review it, and it's done. I don't everybody wears such a booth up. I don't even worry about that.
Yeah.
I have a great production company, staging, all staging, back, everything. I've worked out fine, you know. I have a group of stagehands I've had for 7, 8, 9 years, a bunch of great guys. I trust them, and everybody helps me or works with Hot August. I trust them 100%. If they say, well, we should do something this way, I listen to them. I say, okay, let's just do it that way. But I trust if they change something, I don't have to hear every change somebody's going to make. I trust them to do the right thing. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other favorite memories from Hot August Past that you like to share with the fans?
I'm not going to say the person. For 1 year, I was looking for somebody after the festival to start. I'm looking, nice. Yeah, next door. I knew her father, so it's a great position. And she's on her own. She's been on her own fight for 20 years. And I couldn't find her. The car was jumping up and down. Oh, shit, she's out there. And next thing I know, she's coming down the sliding board in the swimming pool. You know? A lot of stories like that. There are more quirky stories like that, you know. And then people would stay after the festival 3, 4, 5 in the morning, just drinking a few beers and talking on that. Which was fun, you know.
Yeah.
Some people couldn't drive in, so I would let them sleep right in that pasture. You know, stay in the car, just stay there overnight. And then after the festival, everybody go to the Manor Tavern was across the street. So we had 200-300 people over there drinking and partying after the festival, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So those kind of stuff, I don't mention any names, but there were, you know, there's more than that. More interesting things happen, but they're fun. They're a good memory. And that's why I would not change anything.
Nice.
Can't change the past anyway, and I learned from that, you know. And I kept it small for many, many years, you know.
Right.
And it's grown a little bit. I mean, it's grown. You know, it's grown.
Yeah, but
I'm often amazed. I take a class downtown,
mm-hmm.
Tai Chi class, whatever. And I walk into the Hot August shirt, and some younger guy, probably like 30 years old. I come to that festival every year. I said, really?
Nice.
And then I went to a Tai Chi class the week after somewhere else, and this guy, 60-year-old psychiatrist, he comes up, I come to your festival every year. I said, really, you do? You know, I'm always surprised. I don't know. Catches me off guard, you know.
Yeah.
But I guess after 25 years, people do know what it is. Some people, but some people have never heard of it. Still, you know, many people in Baltimore, they've never heard of it, but they don't like music. They would rather go see a pop band, which is fine, because that's what they know.
Right.
Or they'd rather see a rock band, Metallica, or whoever. I don't understand the name, and that's what they know. They would not know Old Crow Medicine Show. They wouldn't know Lettuce. They wouldn't know the Dusters. They wouldn't know Turquoise and whatever else. So it's a different group of people that know that music a little bit. You know, music's off center.
Right.
So I describe it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. Now looking towards the future, are we anywhere near done? Or are you roaring ahead full speed?
Well, it's not like the first year. But once in a while I say to myself, I've had enough of this, you know.
Right.
But it's a little addicting. But it's probably better than taking drugs.
Right.
It's a better kind of addiction, I think, you know. So,
yeah.
Well, I'd like it to go forever. If somebody could do it, I don't know if I'm 67. I don't know. You know.
Right.
So it'll go a few more years. You know?
Okay. Great.
And there's some people that could run it probably. I'd still like to have input into how it's run. because if I'm around, I'd still like to have things a certain way, not
Right.
something's not changed, you
Right.
know.
But you can delegate a little more.
And I do delegate a lot more. Everything's. I mean, I don't wear walkie-talkie all day. I have nothing. I just walk around and talk to people all day.
Right.
Between what Christian does backstage, my stage hands do, my production people do, my gate people do. I have 200 I think we have 200 volunteers, something like that, every
Wow.
year.
Wow.
I don't know. And my sister manages the volunteers, which is good. So I know if she's doing it, it's gonna be done right. I don't have to ask any. She tells me what's going on, and that's fine. You know.
Yeah.
So I don't know about the future. You know.
Right.
I know today.
Okay. Yeah.
You know?
All right. Well, anything else you want to say? I mean, that's all the questions I have. But if there's anything else you want to tell people about this year's festival, the floor is yours.
No, it's a great festival. I think. I love my lineup, and it's not just my lineup; it's a group of people that put it together with me. And it's a great family thing too. Old, young, easy to get home. You can go back to your own bed at night if you don't want to. There's 3 or 4 hotels down the street, and we do have an after party at the Green Turtle. You never knew who was going to show up.
Yeah,
Last
year we had Litz, right, which was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've Litz. And one year I was doing somewhere else. I had some local band. I can't remember. Derek Truck showed up.
Oh,
Jason
nice.
Isbell showed up. I rested guys from Derek's band were there. We jammed like 3 o'clock in the morning probably. It was amazing.
Wow.
And I remember I said, Derek, why don't you come to it? He said, I'm not coming. So the next thing he called me, he came out of the parking lot and went the wrong direction. So he ended up in Glendon instead of York Road. So he had to turn around and move the bus back. And then next thing Jason was there.
Wow.
So Jason and Derek. So that was a really cool one, you know. I've had other artists play, and usually people show up. You know, it depends.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really, really crowded. Sometimes it's not as crowded, you know. But it's just, I just like it to. I think there's gonna be a lot of bands staying like within a quarter mile there. And so the guys that play in the afternoon are not leaving until Sunday, so they can come right over because it's sort of close, you know. The Green Turtle and Johnny Mall, so it's easy to get to.
Yeah.
So
all right.
That's about it, I think. You know.
Great. Well, thanks a lot for your time, Brad. I really appreciate you taking the time to
Thanks,
talk
Randy.
with me, man. And no problem. I'll see you out there if I don't see you before.
Okay. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Randy.
All right. Thanks, Brad.
Okay, man. Bye-bye.
Bye.